Oh, it's cold. Mm. Let's see. It's so hard to read this thing. Oh, excuse me. Mm-mm. Okay, let's do this. Good afternoon. It's Friday. Okay. It is rainy and cold out. It actually feels a little bit nice though. I see why the kids want to be outside. So I'm going to hang out here for a few minutes with you all. Let's see who joins in this chat. I think I scheduled for noon and it is 5 minutes before. So I'll just hold on for a few minutes. I'm just do this. Alright, let me get back in this chat. Get back in here. Let's see. Alright. I'm good, and you? Hey, Sylvia. I did get your message. I've been checking my emails and I haven't gotten anything, but I just sent you a message through your YouTube account. The only emails I had gotten were from a couple of years ago, actually. And I did reply, even though they were old, but I know that was your personal email, so you may want to check there too. Yeah, I didn't get anything yet. I don't know if it's, I don't know. I call myself checking spam and everything. So I don't know. But in any case, we would get those messages through. Whew, boy, oh my goodness, I see rain coming down, so the kids are getting ready to come back in the house. I just ruined their day. I let them go out. It was raining. This was yesterday, and it was cold. Actually, for the last couple of days, so they've been in the house. So I can see they're in the backyard, and I can see the rain on the window. So it makes for a long day, but I let them out. They did work because they had been in the house. And I have something ready for today. And we'll get started with that after lunch. No doubt they'll be in here a few minutes asking for lunch or a snack or something. So I know I won't be in here for long. Okay, if not, I'll resend it. Okay. Either way, like I said, your personal, and then I send a private message here, so you should be able to get one of the two, hopefully. 3 and done. Says good afternoon, everyone. Good afternoon to you. How is everyone? What has everyone been up to? Wait a minute, it's Friday? Did I forget to put the trash out? I don't even remember the trash man running. That's weird. The neighbor's trash out, but that's only one. It's not Friday, it's Thursday. Oh my gosh. No wonder. I was sure about to say Friday came fast, but yeah, I forgot to put the trash out. It's Thursday. All right, y'all, I'm gonna get it together one day. I'm telling you, man, when you get old like this, you just, Hello, Cynthia. I can't stay long, but I wanted to ask, does anyone build their own curriculum from just Goodwill finds? That's actually what I was going to talk about today. Yeah, a lot of stuff I use. I look at all of the popular curriculum and things like that, and when it all boils down to it, people's preference. Some people want to have that status quo of having a name brand curriculum, and then they get it and really don't know what to do with it. And, like I said, it's just status quo. You can pick and piecemeal your own things. You guys know I use Sunlight for some of the book recommendations, especially the ones that the older kids did not read, because they're new. So I will go through there and just find those books on my own. I've seen quite a few people do that because you can save money doing that. It doesn't make sense to have to go buy a whole box when you're not going to use it all, or it's not really to your liking. And that's another question I want to ask. When you all are looking for curriculum and you find something, after, um, doing your research and things like that, and, it has the things that you're looking for, and there may be one or two things that don't really fit your need. They don't line up. It's just totally off. What do you do? Do you buy it anyway because that's all you found? That's all that's there after, a lot of hours, time, spent? Do you just take that and figure I'll just, use it the best of my ability, or do you just leave it? I was going to purchase it. Let's see. Sylvia said today, yes, girl, yes, all day. When things happen like rain and cold, it kind of messes up things because we do things differently. And so, but I never know what day it is. I never do. I hear the trash man coming. I'm like, it's Friday. I know Friday. That's why I was kind of off. But I'm like, wait a minute. Yeah, but I never know. It's crazy. I was going to purchase it, but it might not be in our budget. What were you going to purchase? Might not be in the budget. My sound is off. Okay, be right back. Yeah, I'm just kind of curious what you all's thoughts are before I kind of weigh in on that. It depends on the family and who works for that particular family. Everyone is different. Well, yeah, of course it depends on the family. But again, that kind of helps other people get an idea of why, not do this, why not select this. And I don't care what you all say about, yes, it is a personal preference, but we know because of YouTube, a lot of people have no idea what their personal preference is anymore. They have run to popular. Okay, as soon as you see somebody show you this, or you go across this, other channel and you see this, everybody has it, it's wildfire. Everybody, I can give you a word, I can give you a couple that proves people consume and purchase based on popularity. McDonald's. One. Okay, you say we don't eat McDonald's, but guess what? You used to. And that's how McDonald's became giant. Walmart. Okay, popularity. Target. Dollar Tree. The stores might have junk, but because it's popular, everybody's running for it. Okay, you guys know my stance. Walmart versus Target. Walmart stuff is cheap. It's cheap. Okay, it's cheap. They have everything, but that doesn't mean it's quality, and they know it's not quality. That's the reason why. That's how they built their principle. They make it cheap enough. They give you an illusion. They have everything, but it's cheap enough to where it breaks, and then you run back and get another one. I don't like that. I'd rather spend a lot more and get better quality. It's like people shop in box stores versus boutique. You want something different. You don't want something that everybody has. It's cookie cutter. Those things tend to cost more because there's more thought. It's not just catering to everybody. Hi, Tasha. Learning as we grow. Okay. You wanted to buy a box curriculum, Cynthia. Which curriculum, if you don't mind sharing? Yeah, everybody on YouTube doing Dollar Tree hauls. Oh yeah. But they don't tell you about, yeah, it's $1, but all that mess in there is toxic. It's full of toxins. It's brought from China. It's full of toxins. I'm not getting ready to, maybe some paper, something that's paper. I'm not buying anything else out of there and showing you guys. But, yeah, I haven't been to any Dollar Tree, and I don't know, whenever I showed you guys that haul about 4 years ago, I don't know. I don't do the Dollar Tree at all. To say, I've been learning as we grow. Says I've been searching and searching for a box curriculum. I cannot find anything affordable that would totally work for us. Yeah, exactly. So you have not purchased. It's just that little tidbit of information that she's saying. It just would not totally work. So there's some hesitation there. Dollar Tree usually has the same stuff. They don't really bring out new stuff. Same for Walmart. Yeah. It's based on, their product is based on popularity. Plus, Sylvia said, plus I don't last now. I do not. I do like the organized containers. I did wonder about their plastic there. Yeah. I'm trying to think, do I have, I don't think I have any from the Dollar Tree per se. Yeah. It's convenient and all of that, but this stuff is toxic. What's another thing that's very popular there? Charger cables. They're very popular, but they're bad. Phone cables. Popular demand. Yeah, it's based on popular demand. So yeah, it's that little bit of hesitation. If I find something, I'm looking for it, and it looks like it does this, that, and the other. No, I'm looking out the window. You see cars pass down the street. I pay attention. Something might happen. I always have to pay attention to what kind of vehicle it is. I was going to buy Matthew C. and still debating on other subjects. Okay. Yeah, I had looked at Matthew C. a while back because we did not, we didn't have that. And I saw a couple people using it, and again, when I see the, I looked at it, it looked really neat and things like that. And I started to discover some things, and I watch people share and use it and follow people. I don't just pick one video that says, this is their Matthew C video, because you have to know you need to have a background on the people that are using it, the family. There's always a reason. There's it's a couple of reasons why they're using it. But, and a lot of people do not disclose that. So you really have to be knowledgeable. Don't just look for the first review you see and run with it and say, oh, well, so-and-so has been using this for XYZ. You know, they're probably biased. They probably never used anything else. They're using it out of convenience.
We saw a digger.
I saw it. Yeah, Matthew C is based on Common Core, is based on base 10. And to me, it's just too many steps. My kids are, thankfully, they got all of the kids their father's gift for math because I'm not that strong. But even myself looking at that, if I were to go back and reteach myself stuff, I wouldn't even use it. There's too many steps to solve the problem. They want you to 7 plus 5. You have to add 10 to the 7, 10 to the 5. What's the difference? That's too many steps. My kids can do that mentally in 2 seconds. So I'm like, that's not gonna, it wouldn't do anything for us. It looks neat, the blocks and all of that, but I think the other perk about it is you just, once you get the blocks and all of that, you don't have to keep purchasing other things. You only have to buy some of it, but still, I wasn't that impressed. It didn't have anything to do with the money. Because I was looking at that and teaching textbooks, and teaching textbooks is actually more. And they just did not appeal. It was just something about them that turned me off.
No, they're not outside or inside.
They're inside?
They're not inside or outside.
Where are they?
I don't know where they're
Go check in the backyard. I just saw them run back there.
I didn't see them in the backyard.
You didn't see them in the backyard? They must be on the side of the house. I see the sprinkle stop. I can hear them. So, it could be, good and all of the packaging and all of that. But if there's just any slight hesitation, I won't even buy it. And then, all of that, I go back and hear people that, like I say, I follow people for years. Okay, I follow them. I don't just take their review. I follow them and I follow what they say about the children. Come to find out, so many people talked about that curriculum later on and said that curriculum had too many gaps from 2nd to 3rd grade. They had to abandon it and find something else and start all over 2nd grade before they went to 3rd grade. So that in itself, I pay attention to. But I had already, determined that it wasn't what we needed. You said the kids would be coming in. Girl, yeah, I can hear them there on that side of the house. But it stopped sprinkling, so they're probably just as happy. Let me go back up here. I was going to use... Yeah, like, if I were to pull something out of Matthew C, I'd probably buy the manipulatives, I wouldn't buy nothing else, but the manipulatives, yeah. Hi, Dixon Christian Academy. Yes, I learned my lesson about jumping on a curriculum bandwagon. I wasted tons of money my first 2 years homeschooling. No, I'm praying. I'm paying for it with my kids. Exactly. I say you can't, I don't mind. Cynthia says, I don't mind building a homemade curriculum from the Goodwill textbooks. Exactly. And printables from the internet. Exactly. Because, you can customize things to fit you. You don't have to worry about following a script. And if you want to follow a script, is that script, that lesson plan, the first thing you ask yourself when you're buying a box curriculum, before you buy it, the very first question, what do you expect out of that curriculum? A lot of people buy these curriculum and they read what it says. Oh, it's supposed to do this, it's supposed to do that, and just like any other product. Okay? And then when they get the curriculum, they have a whole different expectation. But they get the curriculum and then you get these videos. Oh, it didn't work for us. It didn't work for my child. What was your expectation and what did you do to work towards that expectation? Okay, the 9 times out of 10, it didn't fail. First of all, you probably did not do your complete research. You were watching other people instead of following these people. Okay, people, homeschool journey, follow these people for an extensive length of time. Watch the progress of their children. I show you all, step by step, as best I can, progress. How we got from A to B all the way to Z. Okay, what I cannot show or what I don't show, I fill in the gaps. That's why sometimes I have to, and some people ask me things like this. Last couple of videos, the sight words, I've been getting so many questions and phone calls and stuff like that. And I'm like, okay, let me go back in because I realized I showed the little one. Because, the 4-year-old, well, let's see. Yeah, she started when she was 3. She already read. So I just kind of felt like it wasn't, it wasn't that imminent. But I'm seeing that more and more people are asking me for, beginning, how do you start it? How do you keep it going? What do you use? So that's why I'm using her as a model. She's more aligned with where everybody's at. Let's see. Well, yeah, when you have a different expectation, because see what happens is people don't realize it didn't work. It didn't work. The curriculum is not something that it just popped up and it's on the market. The curriculum had been used and tested in schools and everywhere long before it became something on the market, because what the designer had to do was go back in. They put out a prototype. They had to go back in and redesign it based on the teacher's feedback, how the children responded and all of that. So this stuff is really old. But then you come and say, well, it doesn't work. Well, did you follow the directions first of all? Did you realize that this is what you have to do to make this curriculum do what it says? Just like when you do, when you're baking or you're cooking. Now, this is not substituting applesauce for eggs. You can do that when you're baking a cake or something. This is education. Some things you have to follow by the book. When they give you a teacher manual, they give you a teacher manual for a reason. If you choose not to buy it, and then you come back and say, well, it didn't work, guess what? I bet you there's a whole bunch of information in that teacher manual that you needed. But you wanted to do it your way, so it didn't work. And then you go tell everybody it didn't work. Buy the teacher manual. What is that? Teaching textbooks have the DVDs. I hear so many people say we use the DVDs and not the workbook. It's an either or thing. If they have the DVDs, you need to watch the DVDs. They have them for a reason. Yeah, they're going to offer you the stuff without it because people are the ones that want that, what do you call it? They want that status quo with that brand name curriculum, but they can't really afford it. They're going to offer you the cheaper version. And if you're not cut out to put that much work into it, you mess it up yourself. You have to follow what the thing says. And, frankly, if you don't want to buy the manuals and the things like that, it's like you might as well just do piecemeal it. It doesn't make sense. It doesn't make sense at all. Okay, because you have to do all the maintenance, all the tweaking and things like that. It's like buying a car. When you buy a car, you know you have to have maintenance. If you're a mechanic, you're gonna buy a car that you know how to work on. If you don't want to go to the another mechanic, take it to the shop. You're gonna buy a model that you know how to work on. My dad would always tell me, don't buy XYZ because I can't fix this for you. Okay, so no problem. I don't have to worry about, you know, but you have to know that going into this thing. You can't just say, well, I'm going to do this myself because in the beginning it's new, and when you switch curriculum, it's something new and it's going to take you time to learn all of that. And there's going to be a lot of frustrations already as it is. So you're going to have to lower your expectations of these things, but at the same time, not settle for something just because that's all that's out there. I don't, if I'm going to the store looking for something and they don't have, I don't know, what was I thinking of when I thought of this? Bread. Okay, some people, you need bread. Okay, to some people it may not matter. You need bread. So you're just going to go pick. They don't have the brand that you usually get. You're just going to go pick up some bread and keep moving. Now, to some people, it really does matter because some people may need that low glycemic bread, if they're diabetic. Some people need gluten-free, that type of thing. And that stuff costs more anyway. So they're not going to deviate from what they need. Okay? I'm one of those type of people. If I'm looking for something and I need this, I'm not going to take a substitution. There's always something else. And if there's not, I'm going to make it myself. And so when I told you guys about writing the history curriculum for us, okay, that is something that I'm doing because there is a lack. And for me to, of all the curriculums that I looked at, all the programs that I looked at, history-wise, and I see basic history being given, I think about my kids and the images that those things are going to imprint on them. The curriculum may be beautiful, it may be popular, it may be cheap, it may be expensive, what have you. But I have to think about the image. If they open up the history book, American history, and it has a chapter on us, how is that going to make them feel when the rest of the book is filled with all kinds of other things? And we've been discussing other things. And they said, well, wait a minute, what about this? And what about this? And what about this? Why is this not in the book? I'm not getting ready to modify something that I paid oodles of money for it to work. It just doesn't make sense. If it doesn't have it, it doesn't have it. You cannot, in my opinion, you can't cater. You can't shortcut certain things. Some people just don't care, and that is called assimilation. Okay? It's assimilation. That's all that is. I have no choice. There's always a choice. There's always an option. So I'm writing it myself. I've seen many people do that. They don't see what they need in other curriculum. They write it themselves. And you all are buying it. Cynthia said, I've seen ways to make Montessori math beads. Yes. Whatever you can make yourself, make yourself. Because I'm telling you, you can see that stuff in the catalog or in the store or whatever, and 9 times out of 10, you can figure out a way to make it yourself. It may not look as pretty, but you can do it yourself. So, exactly. So you have to make it work. No, that's not what I said. You have to make it work. You don't accept something based on that's all that's there. That's two different things. I said if it doesn't work, if it doesn't line up, it doesn't line up. You can't force it to line up. Okay, either you follow it or you don't. If somebody's giving you something and you know you don't agree with it and you accept it anyway, you have assimilated. Okay, that's called assimilation. We are in this great month of February. So many people have assimilated to this Black history creed, doctrine, term. I don't know what to call it. It's a mess. Okay, they have assimilated because they gave it to us. Go back and research the history of why it was given to us, because they thought we were baboons and all kinds of stuff, and it was causing the slave revolts and all of that. So they gave it to us so we could shut up. Now, would you want to be proud to celebrate something like that on those premises? No, I'm not assimilating to that. They didn't assimilate to 1 month. Why should we? There's absolute. Let's see. 3 and Done says a lot of them are basically just workbooks. Yeah, it's a fill in the blank type thing, and that's another thing. I don't, that's like trivia. We got a Black history Black history games in the closet. If we want to do something like that, we could go in the closet and do the little trivia mess. That's what I see in these curriculums. That's not what I'm writing. You're not gonna find no fill in the blank facts. There's absolutely a shortage of inclusive history curriculum dealing with this right now. Researching. Yeah, there is a shortage. It's a great shortage. And what has happened is because these companies follow the same thing, like I said, you can find some fill in the blank stuff. Going back to us, our history, you can find that fill in the blank stuff, and y'all have been buying it because that's all that's there. But when somebody get that idea and say, wait a minute, there has to be more to this. Okay? There has to be more to this than just fill in the blank. That we can, there's more history than to just fill in the blank. We're not just a fill in the blank culture. Okay? They write great history books about their culture. Why is our culture just a fill in the blank type thing? And that's what made me think. I don't give my kids stuff like that. And nobody should want anything like that because we're not fill in the blank. But because you all buy that stuff, oh, it's great, it's neat. Look they included us. That's the first thing you see. You go buy it, people accept it, and they keep producing that kind of material. Cynthia says, yeah. Or Sylvia says, that's why I've been listening to you. Cynthia says, yeah, you want to be careful about stuff in the textbooks because it has a lot of stuff. Leaves the Lord out of it. Exactly, it does. That's what we don't celebrate Black History Month. And it's not just Black History Month. It's a whole bunch of other things, The ones that, we don't celebrate Christmas, but you run into the Hanukkah, we got to go buy the toys. Hanukkah was not based on no toys, okay? Come on now. You just glorified Christmas. You try to disguise it. You put your interpretation on it and say, I'm going to give these kids some toys the best way I can so nobody can say nothing about me. It's the same thing. You might as well celebrate Christmas. Matter of fact, I have Bible. I didn't put it up yesterday. I just didn't feel like doing it, but I have a Bible lesson for you guys, for the kids. Because I had footage before and it's on the other computer. But we did a lesson yesterday, so you all will be able to see that Bible curriculum in action. And like I said, interactive, yeah, full of faith in it. Um, so are you going to tell, is taught in college, are you going to tell children not to go? Tell them not to go. So you saying I'm telling them not to go to college? Or am I telling them not to go to college? I never told any of my kids they had to go to college. I can run back any number of videos. I said they had to be accepted into university. I never said they had to go anywhere. My kids are grown by then. I can't tell them what to do. Yep, I said the expectation, they have to be accepted. If we're doing what we know, and we have seen the results, we know that they are capable of getting there. So this child applying to these universities, she don't have to go to anyone. She have to get accepted. At the end of the day, if she say I don't want to go, so be it. What am I going to do? She's grown. I'm saying people in college assimilate to the doctrines. I don't. If you know my kids, they're not that type, okay? I done showed you guys the child protesting in the college against the dean, okay? If I have one that radical, she's not assimilating to nothing. My kids are not like that. Some people probably didn't get that. Some people probably didn't remember it. But yeah, the child is very radical. Like I told her, I sent you to school to go to school, not become the millennial Angela Davis. But I get her stance. So no, they don't. They don't. I don't. I just tell them things. I do not indoctrinate them, and they know better. If I don't do it, of course they're not going to accept it anywhere else. So you said I would teach my kids the real meaning of Black history. I know schools look a lot at the history books. In Black history, we are more than Martin Luther King and Malcolm X. Exactly. That's the run of the mill. The state says I have to teach them X, Y, Z. Okay. That's fine. Because that's all they know. But you know what? If somebody come out with better material, you better believe the school will be all over it. Okay, because right now there's not anything, and that's why I just said I have to do something. It might not be all grand or whatever. Like I say, prototypes. But I have a mind that is not anything fill in the blank-ish what we get these days. The images that you see, it's not anything like that. Cynthia says I went to college and was told things that weren't right, but I needed the good grades and had to go along with the law. Exactly. Yeah. Yeah. My kids know that. They know it's a game. I mean, it's all a game. You know better, but it's a game. You got to do what they say to whatever, to a certain degree. But again, I have kids that challenge their professors. Okay. My daughter was telling me just the other day something happened and she was like, Mom, I had to go wait. Yeah, you go above. You don't accept it because they are the professor. They don't know everything. I don't settle. I told you guys about going before judges, not signing the legal documents. Let me go in front of the judge and explain. It's always another way. You want to get a hold of, in that case, our history, you want to get a hold of something that was written by us and that's been well documented. I can't even watch a documentary about Black history on here, on this YouTube, that 9 times out of 10, the majority of it has man doctrine in it. I need proof. I need books. I need sources, references, and then I have to go back and read that stuff and watch that stuff because I have to fact match it against what you said to make sure you didn't change it. Some people don't do that. They just watch it. Oh, this was a good documentary. It told me this. It taught me that. I didn't know that. End of the story. I don't have time to give them wrong information, misinformation. I don't have time for that. And if it takes a little bit longer for me to get to that point, then I know I have to not be on here or not be doing other things that, would set me back time-wise. I need time to view things. I need time to research it as best as I can. Let's see. Exactly. That is the same thing with homeschooling. If you don't live in an easy state, you have to follow the requirements, but tell them the truth. Do you all follow the requirements of your state as far as homeschooling? I'm not going to pick, but I can go down the list. I can tell you guys people that are not following the requirements. Yeah. You have to easy state. Let me go back to here. It says exactly we have to tell our children the truth from lies. Yeah, you do. And see, my kids are one that they don't accept anything. I could tell them anything, okay? I have to back it up. They want to know. They're like me. Where you get this information from, okay? So again, I spend a lot of time showing them. Because if they feel that it's not right or it's not credible, and, kids are little people. Some people open up the workbook, the textbook, and just start rattling off, do this, do this, do this. They never think about the child, how that child, and that's the reason why there's a lot of pushback. That child is probably wondering, why do I have to do this? If you can't even explain why they have to do it, why it's relevant, then I don't blame the kid for not wanting to do it. But yeah, you got to be able to tell them, this is where I got this information. My kids don't catch me on Google saying, oh, let me Google this right quick so I can give you the answer. What? Google is based on popularity too. Google will have you dead when you searching medical information and all kind of stuff. Half the information is wrong because it's just based on popularity. And then the stuff that people really want to know, they take the stuff and hide it. It's gone. And I said that plenty of times. You sometimes have to use Google. You have to go back 30, 40, 50 pages. Nobody does that. They go to the first, second, third page. Whatever they find, they accept it. And that's the truth. Yes, McKenna Briley will challenge their teachers all the time, including me. I know you better stop. Yeah, that's what they're supposed to do. The curriculum is supposed to challenge them like that, not just open it up and say, here. I show you guys these textbooks and these workbooks and stuff like that, but it's so much other stuff that we do that, is outside of that. That may be one day out of the week because the kids can do a whole chapter in a day. If that's what they want to do, I let them do it. because we have other things. We move through a lot of material. Yes, honey, Google hide and delete information all the time. Yes, they do, Sylvia. They do. And it's more relevant, to life. Yeah, the book can show them how to add, subtract, divide, multiply, and all of that. But they need to know why they're doing it and how they're going to apply it later in life. And that's why there's so much pushback when it comes to the scriptures. Yeah, some people don't, yeah, they don't follow, they don't believe. Again, going back to this Bible lesson we have, you're going to hear some interesting things in that lesson. Some people don't even know how to interpret the scripture. What they do is they put that man interpretation into it. And they find one scripture, two scriptures. Oh, it said this and this. And see, no, I'm going to find you at least 3, 4, 5 and prove to you why what you said is not completely what you thought it meant. And that has, that's just the basis of, like I said, when you come across these things. I tell the kids, why do you do it that way? Show me your method behind. Exactly. You have to, yeah. You don't just take something and say, this is how to do it and that's it. Let them show you. Okay. That's pay attention to me. And I'm not just, showing favor, but sometimes when I watch other people and they're, the schooling that they show, they're so quick to talk the kid right up to that answer. I don't give them answers. I let them sit there and struggle. They don't struggle because they get it. But even if they did, I ask them again, okay, wait a minute. What did you just say? Because you're not supposed to just talk them up to the answer. Let them give you the answer. What you doing?
For lunch, can we have a sandwich?
Okay. Does that mean my time is running? Yep, it's almost 1 o'clock. Cynthia says, you need me to come help you? Have y'all heard they are cutting stuff back on the internet? Okay, I'm coming. Their reason is because the internet makes people feel bad. Hold that thought. All right. Yeah, they are cutting stuff. Make people feel bad. They can say the same thing about TV and make people feel bad. There is no private interpretation of Scripture. But yeah, there is. That's the reason why there are so many different doctrines and faiths and principles. There's plenty of private interpretation. Plenty, plenty, plenty. I know some of you all wonder when I talk about church, and then I told you guys I've been in seminary. It has nothing to do with church, okay? Absolutely nothing to do with it. But the average person, oh, I don't need this. I don't need church. I don't need anybody to help me interpret. And then when I ask them a question, it's like that man doctrine thrown into what they're trying to answer. Okay. So, yeah, there's a rhyme and reason to what I do, what I've been doing. It's a good thing. It's a beautiful thing. Nobody said I was doing it to go work in a church or, do anything like that. It has nothing to do with it. This is something that started long before I could even really conceptualize what I was thinking. I couldn't even, I don't know, my thinking was already high. And when I realized that I was on to something else, I had too many questions that nobody could answer. People, theologians make up private. Wow. It's something that people to cause theologians. No, I don't think that's completely true. And I'm not just saying that but nobody influences me. My professors don't influence me whatsoever. Because I know what I know, But like I said, there's a rhyme and reason to things. And if you're not even knowledgeable, you have no idea. I think one of the number one things I would hear people say, oh, so I fell out of the church because I went to the pastor and asked him this question and he couldn't answer it.
We have some bells.
We have
some bells. Right.
All right, thank you. Go have a seat.
No.
There's
no.
a
all the thing you do
reason
is shooting rocks.
Why the question wasn't answered. Another one is they don't teach things. I read this in the Bible. They don't even teach that. There's a reason. There's a reason why. And so that's why I encourage people to, they need to seek on their own and they need to seek without the outside influence. And see, at this point in time, you've been influenced from other sources and you have put your interpretation into things. If the scripture says it, it means what it says. Why do you think people don't take the scripture at face value? It's because they don't believe that it applies to them today. They believe that it was something written a long time ago. It has nothing to do with us. I still need to get on here and do that talk. That may be tomorrow. Maybe Sunday. I don't know. If the pastor is leading Claude's flock, then he better make sure he's teaching from the Word of God. There are many that are. Some are not. But, you have those that want to challenge and can't even, you flip it and ask them something and they can't even understand, but they're quick to run and say they didn't even answer this question. They couldn't even tell me this. Why is it somebody else's responsibility? Same thing with these curriculum. Why do you're going to buy I don't want to get on the box thing, but you're going to buy a box, it's out of convenience, it's for ease, it's for this, it's for that. Why do you need somebody to tell you what to teach your child? Okay, because see, that box is designed to work a certain way. And that way may not be your way. Yeah, I have to pick and pull apart pieces of things and not use all of them because it doesn't make sense. It does not make sense. I have, like I said, the only one I found is answers. And I will stand on it. It's brilliant. It is totally brilliant. I've used many things, but this is one that I had never come across anything like it. The whole principle behind this thing is built for people to be able to defend their faith. I have to go. Have a great day. Thank you, Mari. Enjoy your day. And I got about 5 minutes myself. Yeah, that's interesting about that. I want you guys to really think, like I said, about when you're choosing a curriculum. Think about your expectation above anything else. What are you expecting to have out of this? And at the end of the year, you go back and you wholeheartedly look at this thing without even changing your expectation. Write it down. Go back at the end of the year. Did that thing do what you wanted it to do? Did that child progress and excel the way you wanted, the way you expected? That will tell you if that was the right fit or not. That will tell you what you are looking for in curriculum. Okay? Is 9 times out of 10, your expectation is going to change. The way you look at that material is going to change. So I hear a lot of people, older homeschool moms, very good example. They will use something for their children years and years and years. They may have younger children, and all of a sudden they switch. I wanted to try something else. It just was not doing what I wanted to do, and they have better results. Don't go in the mud. But yeah, that happens a lot. I see a lot of people just stuck on using the same thing. And becomes, because it's good, you find what you like and it's really good and it works. And, you don't want to tweak anything. But then when you step out of that and try something else, it's like, wow. There's very few things that I just stick to and say this is it, and the things that I do, I'm not settling for anything because I have, Lord knows, a room full of stuff that I could use. Somebody made the comment, that I was upset, or no, that's not what she said. I was PO'd because I could not buy everything I saw in the halls. That's why I talk about the halls. Yeah, it's that type of thinking. I got one thing in here that probably costs more than all of y'all have in your whole room. I mean, really, that was just very asinine of that person to say something like that. I have my preference. If I want something, I'm going to get it.
At 2 o'clock we have sandwiches.
Yes, in just a minute. Yeah, and she was just basically, that is her thought. That is the reason why I'm being subject to her trolling, because she's upset because she can't buy all the stuff that she sees. Ooh, I don't know who would want to do that, but yeah. So it's not even about buying all of that and buying the popular stuff. I don't prescribe to that. Not at all. I want to talk about another popular curriculum coming up.
At 12 o'clock, I want to stay in.
At 12 o'clock? Well, it's almost 1 o'clock now. So how about at 1 o'clock? You want to stay in. So yeah, I want to talk about another popular one and the kind of the, I want to say the truth behind it, but it's a facade that has been put on this thing, and it's not even new. It's just something somebody jumped on. And everybody just kind of flocked. But people are coming out now because it's been used for a length of time and saying, you know what? I knew in the beginning it had some things that did not line up, and I took it anyway. And it did more damage than good because they went for popular. I want this name brand. So I'm not just sitting here saying that because, that's not my saying. I watch people all the time. And they say, yeah, it was more damage, And 9 times out of 10, it's a box curriculum because, those are the ones that people always want to glamify. And they're like, you know what? I had no idea. I would have never done this. I had no idea. I saw somebody. But see, that somebody did not come back later on and say what they should have said responsibly is they shouldn't have got it in the first place. And so it just trickle effect. And you have those, well, I'm just going to make it work. I bought it. I spent my money. But then I have, how many people in here say I spent all this money on stuff following people and I'm upset? So those are the ones that you want to watch. When they say they spent their money and the kid didn't do this and they didn't like this, it was too much this, it was too much busy work, it was too much. Pay attention to those people. Don't try to, well, I'm going to do this anyway. Pay attention to them, okay? Especially if it's an older homeschooler. We have learned to tweak and modify things, and some things you just don't, you can't accept it. There's just no way around it because there's something wrong with it.
Mom,
yes.
Mom, it's 1 o'clock.
It is 1 o'clock.
Give us
so,
sandwiches?
Yes, ma'am. So we're going to say, tell everyone to have a good day.
I want to go next door.
I don't know if they're at home right now. We have to go next door.
Yes.
We'll see in a little bit. I'm losing my screen. Want to say have a good day?
Yes.
You do?
Have a good day.
All right. You want to go in there and sit down and wait for me? And I'll be in there in just a minute. So, but yeah, I try to I don't know. I try to just stay out of the popular crowd. I don't. It doesn't work. And I hear what you're saying about you have to your state standards and things like that. That has nothing to do with it. That has what you decide on has more, other than the besides the state. The most important thing is, does it fit your family's needs all the way around? Does it fit your family's faith? Okay? Because the state does not know your needs. They might tell you what you need to do, but guess what? You don't have to adhere like that. And trust me, there are people that are not adhering. I'll probably have to come back in with this too, because it is one. Somebody had a issue with the state ordering mandatory vax for kids, and they thought it was pertaining to homeschool kids, and I was like, no, this state does not do anything like that. It was pertaining to kids in CPS custody, that type of thing. But see, misinterpretations. You guys see people, 9 times out of 10, they're not following their state guidelines. Okay, I can tell you that. And when you ask them, they will tell you straight up and down, oh yeah, we are. They're not. Some people are undercover homeschooling, mean they haven't reported one thing to their state, or they did it the first time and never did it again. Okay? A lot of scenarios. You have to use your better judgment. I would not let a state rule over me like that. I don't care if I was in the most strenuous state. You know, I wouldn't. Because at the end of the day, it's about what your family believes. We live in a country of free speech. And yes, we have to use that to our discretion, but we know there's no free speech. But if you sit here and adhere to, we have to do what they say. Because those are the ones that they go after first. Yeah, unfortunately, those are the ones they go after first. So, anywho, okay, here. Yeah, if you all are in a state that has, you know, what they call leniency, I don't, you know, some people abuse that too. Okay, hold on, I will help you out in just a minute. So, anyway, it's a twofold on that. You have to do what's right for your family. Don't let anybody, that's why you're homeschooling. If you are letting them dictate, you might as well send them to the public school.
We saw a digging truck.
You did a digging truck?
And I saw the shovel.
All right, you all. There's a mailman. I will talk to you all. Can you do a separate video? You know, I saw your video. You know what? To be honest, I'm not even following it. I could. But, and you know, I see this thing and the first thing pop in my head, because everybody going to say, oh, that's why I homeschool. That really is a small aspect. Okay. They have to do with people's faith and their principles and their background, how they bring these kids up. Because a homeschool kid, homeschool parents, yeah, I got to bring this up too. They're abusive. A lot of homeschool families are homeschooling because they're abusive. And somebody said something to me. I don't want to out that person, but that made me think that there's something wrong. It's something seriously wrong, because the thing, and I know the person, but the things that they were saying to me made me think that they were hiding something. Okay? Came down to the vax, it came down to this, it came down to that, and I'm saying, baby, them drones watching you. You can't hide your kids. I don't care if you stay in the house all day. The drones are watching you. Every key you press in that phone, they are watching you. On that computer, they are watching you. Okay? Those are the people they go after first. Cannot hide. People living off-grid. Oh, they're going off the off-grid people. And if you're on YouTube and you're off-grid and you're homeschooling, oh, you're really bold. Okay, you're really bold because they're gonna go after you. But yeah, it's sad, but that goes back to what I said. These kids not having a outlet. They have no outlet. So what they gonna do? Yeah, we're gonna go shoot up the school because nobody's listening. Nobody cares. But I may come in and talk about it. I don't know. It's sad, but it's real. It is real. It's one of those things where you say wake up, but people are awake and they still don't care. They have no, I don't know, they don't care. It's one of those things. Oh, my child wouldn't do this, my child wouldn't do that. I heard somebody else tell me that. Oh, when I raised my kids better than that. And I said, I feel bad for you because your kids are not going to turn out the way you think. It's all kind of stuff. They're young, so you don't understand, but the kids are going to flip once they get a certain age. You could teach them all the goodness in the world, but they are people, okay? Yourself is an example. You did not do everything your mother and father told you all growing up. Nobody has. Okay, so why would you expect that for your kids? Expectations. All right, y'all, I'm out of here.